uh, on Sunday, and we will be here to talk about it in just 1 second. I lost my intro music. Great start. Well, I'll talk about it in just 1 second. All right. Well, welcome back to Browns Breakdowns. Proud partners here, Fanatical Elves Network, Fans First Sports Network, and of course your favorite Hemisphere Coffee Roasters. Uh, Great. Let me see if I can pull it up. I keep clicking the wrong thing. Hemisphere Coffee Roasters. Right here is the referral code. Oh, there you go, right there. If you use that, we get 15%. Great coffee. You will enjoy it. I promise. So, Ravens and Browns will face off tomorrow. I believe it is a noon game. I have it pulled up here. It is Cleveland Browns at Baltimore Ravens will be your game. There's something I'm seeing. I'm looking at something. When is the London game? Okay, it's the Vikings game in a few weeks. All right. Just curious. I couldn't see what it was, but looking at it, the Ravens probably have the advantage. We'll just start with initial takes. I'll go more in depth in a few minutes, but they have the advantage. Let's be honest here. Looking at Vegas, I think it's like an 11-point difference. I think Vegas has the Ravens winning right now. I think it's 11 points. It might be a little more. I'd have to look it up. I'm not even sure where I'd go. I guess we can just go Browns, Ravens odds, but it's not great. I'll say that the odds are not amazing yet. It says that they're 11.5 to 12.5, 12.5 point favorites. So quite high. Can't say it's exactly, heavily favorited. This is according to FoxSports.com. They're heavily favorited 12.5. So Vegas has us being beaten by almost 2 touchdowns, at least 2 scores as well. So Vegas doesn't really have a whole lot of faith in us. I wouldn't say I have that much faith. I think it still can be won, but I wouldn't say I have the most faith ever. So Vegas doesn't like our odds. I would say our odds are pretty low as well. It's going to be a hard battle. I don't know if it's going to work, but you never know. So let's talk about our injuries really quickly here. Just get those out of the way. Only a few for the game. First up is our tackle, Jack Conklin. He was limited all 3 days and is questionable for his game status. Mike Hall Jr., the next one up, knee injury, limited Wednesday, Thursday, and on Friday he did not practice. He is out officially. Quinshaw Judkins, the running back, non-injury related injury. He was DNP on Wednesday and in full on Thursday and Friday and is questionable. For the Ravens, Isaiah Likely, their tight end, was DNP Wednesday, Thursday with a foot injury, limited on Friday. He is officially out. And Patrick Ricard, their fullback, DNP all 3 days with a calf injury, and he is also officially, on my microphone, designated as out. So those are your injuries there. For the Browns, not very many. Could be up to 3. Technically, it could be worse. Let me rephrase. It could be worse. We should be happy it isn't worse. So looking at it, we're only dealing with a few injuries here. That's great. I'm very happy with that. But it's still tough because, losing someone like Mike Hall is obviously unfortunate as he is a decent player. But I think we'll survive. I think we'll be okay. And then the Baltimore Ravens, their fullback isn't that big of a deal, but losing their tight end, Isaiah Likely, definitely is going to hinder their gameplay a little bit here against the Browns. Probably not enough to make it that big of a deal, but maybe we'll be fine. And so it's going to be, again, like I said, a hard-fought battle. We'll talk about it more in a second here, but I think Vegas has the odds right. I think 12.5 is probably a good spot to put it. I don't know if I fully agree. I feel like maybe 11.5 to 10.5 would be more accurate. I think the Browns are going to do well, but I don't think they're going to be able to stay within one score when the final score occurs, because we saw what the Ravens did to the Bills, right? 40 to 41. Obviously, we saw their collapse, though, at the end of the game where they let up 16 points in 8 minutes? Holy voice crack. 8 minutes, they let up 16 points, which is quite embarrassing, to say the least. And so they have flaws, obviously, but you got to take into account that's the Bills' offense. That's Josh Allen. We don't have Josh Allen, though we could have. Unfortunately, we didn't get him. It sucks. I don't know if he would have been able to bring this team to a Super Bowl, but it would have brought us closer than what we've been doing these past few years. So, anyway, enough about being sad about the quarterback. The Ravens have a good team. I mean, let's be honest here. I know how much we hate the Ravens. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely despise the Ravens, and I hope they never see success in their entire franchise future. But you have to give it to them. They have a really good team. They have been to the playoffs and quite far into the playoffs multiple years now in a row. Lamar Jackson is a huge threat. Obviously, you have Derrick Henry, who's a big threat as well. So you have to consider this team as a threat to your offense and to your defense. And yes, we saw their big collapse back in the week 1 against the Bills. But again, you also have to take into account the fact that that's the Bills. That is the Bills offense, another team who has been to the playoffs and quite far multiple times before in the past. And so it's the Ravens and the Bills are two teams. So, I mean, looking at it, yeah, it's going to be a very difficult battle between the two teams. I think the Browns could win. I just think it might be difficult. I just think there's just something about the Ravens and also the Browns. I mean, we have a decent team. We shut down the Ravens. I can't say any team correctly. The Bengals, and so it's going to be a tough game. I don't know if we'll be able to do it, but I have confidence in this team somewhat. And so I'll give you more takes in just 1 second. After here, I play my ads. Let me get everything correctly there. So we will be right back here on the Browns Breakdowns after this ad break. And we're back on Browns Breakdowns. If you are listening on the Spotify or the Apple or any of these podcast download sites, thank you. We very do much appreciate it. You listening there. That's where we get a lot of our stuff. And if you're listening live, you've probably heard no ad breaks simply because there's not actually an ad break in the live. But if you're downloading this, you should hear ads. So thank you to our advertisers. We're very happy to have them. But as I was saying before the ad break, right now, the Browns, I had said it multiple times before in the Fanatical Elves show, you should go listen to that as well, on Thursday, that this is going to be an uphill battle to a high degree. I also said that about the Bengals, and it was an uphill battle for a little bit there, but this is going to be even more of an uphill battle because you're playing a team with a high potent offense with Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, all these players on the big names right there for the offense, and then they've got a really decent defense as well. And so, and like if you look at the Bills game, the Ravens were winning until about the fourth quarter, mid fourth quarter, when Derrick Henry fumbled the ball. They started losing. I mean, they were winning the rest of the game. It felt like they were putting the hurt on Buffalo most of that game, and so this is a potent team. That was just a bad loss for them, and so I think they'll be back. I think they'll bounce back here against us. Hopefully, maybe they still have some memories from the last game and they have a bit of a problem and they're all just like kind of messed up. Hold on. Okay, that's interesting, right? Maybe we get lucky with that. But again, it just feels like this is going to be a difficult battle between the Browns, for the Browns, I mean. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a very difficult fight. It's going to be a lot of, you have to get stops, right? And that's going to be obviously extremely difficult. Derrick Henry obviously is going to be a huge problem. Lamar Jackson, again, big problem. So it's going to be very difficult to do this. It's going to be a hard-fought battle. It's going to be very hard to win. But I think the Browns could do it. I'm going to say it. I think the Browns could do it. We're coming off of a great game last week. Obviously, no victory, but you don't have to win every game for it to be still technically considered a victory. We did so well in that last game. We only lost because our kicker couldn't kick. So looking at it, I mean, if we were able to hit those 2 field goals, we would be so proud of that game last week, of how well we did. Sure, we might have wanted to win by a few more points, but you can't change that. So I think we're coming off of a great game. The Ravens are coming off of a devastating loss to the Bills, where they were winning the entire game, and then Derrick Henry fumbled, and the whole team collapsed. So it's apparently all you have to do is make Derrick Henry fumble, and you win the game. So Browns defense, take notes, make Derrick Henry fumble, and the game is won. So using that information we have here, I guess score prediction, I wouldn't even really know where to start. because it just feels like there's such a wide spectrum of what could happen, right? You could have a game where it's 20-21, or you could have a game where it's 41-12, right? I wouldn't be surprised if you see like a 21-18 or 21-17, I mean, 21-17 loss for the Ravens and the Browns win, or you see a 41-10 loss and the Ravens win, right? I wouldn't be surprised if either of those scenarios happened. So there's such a wide spectrum of scores and possibilities that can happen here. It's going to be such a difficult score to put down onto paper, such a difficult game to even project, because I just don't know. I mean, the Ravens, NFL players and coaches are very good at distancing themselves from games, but coming off of such a bad loss where you were in control for 54 minutes of the NFL game and then you just fell apart always sucks. And the Browns are probably running hopefully confident after their showing last week. I mean, I would be. We performed great against one of the best on paper offenses in the league. So you got to come into this and think maybe the Browns have a better mentality right now than the Ravens, and maybe you get out there quickly, right? You get the ball first, you drive down, you score, you stop the Ravens, you're up 7-0, you have a chance to go up 14-0, and you get into their head early, and that changes the whole dynamic of the game, right? Because the Ravens, you score, right? Let's say you don't get the ball first. Let's say you stop the Ravens and you score with the punt. That changes the whole dynamic of the game, because the Ravens just immediately started with a 4 and out, and you just went down and scored. So now the Ravens have to respond, but even if the Ravens respond and you score again, you're still up. And that could change the whole game just off of 2 drives. And so I just don't know, because it just feels like there's so many possibilities here between, and maybe, maybe the Browns will go out there, get stopped, and then the Ravens will score and score and score, and we'll lose by 20 points. Do I want that to happen? Obviously not, but it's a possibility in this game. And so disconnected. I really apologize. I don't know why this keeps happening. There's something wrong with either my Wi-Fi or Riverside, so I don't exactly know what just happened. But as I was saying, if I had to pin down a score prediction, might as well get this episode done quickly before it crashes. Pin down a score prediction. Let's say I'll give you 2 scores, actually. I'll give you a Browns win and a Ravens win. Let's start with the Browns win. I'll say 24-21 Browns. That's my score for the Browns. Now let's say we go, so 24-21 would be the Browns. I'd say probably 2 touchdowns throwing. I think Joe Flacco could have a decent game. I think running the ball, I think you see a lot on the ground actually this game, but it's going to be a hard-fought battle in that scenario of 24-21 Browns. Maybe you go redeem yourself. The kicker kicks the game-winning field goal. I don't know. Ravens win. If the Ravens win, I think it's going to be a blowout. If the Ravens win, I think it's going to be a blowout. I say 28-10 if the Ravens win. 18 points. I think it's going to be, maybe the Browns get a score. Maybe you could say 28-14, but I think it's going to be a bad loss for the Browns if they do lose. If they do lose, I mean, simply because of what the Ravens are bringing to the table in terms of offensive and defensive power. Just such a good team right there, right? With their Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, their good offensive line, all these things that they've got. And so if the Browns lose, I think it's going to be a big blowout. And if the Ravens lose, I think it's going to be really close. But I'll just give you one more. I say realistically, I'll say 24-10 Ravens win this game. 24-10, that's my final score. 24-10 Ravens win. I think Derrick Henry has a great game. I mean, he had like 100 yards last year against us. So I say 24-10 Browns lose. It sucks starting off 0-2, but I mean, Stefanski hasn't started 0-2, I don't think. So maybe we'll get lucky. But that's my score prediction, 24-10. So I hope you all enjoyed this episode. As I wrap up here, thank you all for listening. I will be back on Wednesday, hopefully this time, actually at the right time. If not, I apologize, and I'll probably be there Thursday, but I should be there Wednesday. It's almost a promise. I don't want to promise because I might get busy, but should be there Wednesday. So Wednesday we'll give you a review. So go Browns. I hope everyone enjoys the game. If not, buy some Hemisphere coffee roasters, and that'll make your day a lot better. So I love you all, and I will talk to you guys next time. Peace.